the money metric that actually sets you free. Everyone loves to talk about net worth. It sounds impressive, looks good on paper, and gives you a number to chase. But here's the truth most people miss. Net worth is a snapshot. Cash flow is the motion. One tells you how much you've built. The other tells you whether it's actually working for you. You could own a $2 million house and still be broke every month trying to maintain it. Or you could be collecting $5 a month from income assets and have no fancy titles to show. One traps you in appearances. The other buys your freedom. In this article, we're going beyond the surface. We'll break down both metrics, compare their real-life impact, and give you 6 clear strategies to prioritize the one that actually moves the needle. Because when it comes to wealth, the real flex is not what you own. It's what keeps paying you when you stop showing up. Welcome to 86 Dawn Finance YouTube channel, where we break down the hidden mechanisms controlling your financial life. Let's break it all down. No fluff, just the truth. Section 1. Net worth looks impressive, but it doesn't pay the bills. Net worth is the number everyone brags about, but very few understand. It's the total value of your assets minus your liabilities. Simple in theory, seductive in practice. You feel richer every time your home value rises or your retirement account grows. But here's the catch. Net worth is not cash, and it's not freedom. According to data from the Federal Reserve, nearly 80% of the average person's net worth is locked in 2 places: their primary residence and retirement accounts. Translation: you can't sell your kitchen to pay your electric bill, and you can't tap into your 401k without a penalty unless you're retired. So what you own on paper doesn't help much when the rent is due tomorrow. Even worse, many high earners start out with negative net worth. Doctors, lawyers, engineers. Most of them finish school drowning in 6 figures of debt. And that's fine, as long as the trajectory improves. But if your net worth is growing while your cash flow is shrinking, you're building a castle with no doors. Net worth tells you where you stand, but it doesn't tell you how far or fast you can move. Section 2. Cash flow is the engine that keeps you moving. While net worth is a snapshot, cash flow is your heartbeat. It measures how much money flows into your life and how much leaks out. Your salary, rental income, dividends, side hustles, minus rent, groceries, bills, and debt. If you're earning more than you spend, you have positive cash flow. If not, you're in slow collapse mode, even if your net worth says you're rich. According to the Bank of America Institute, 20% of American households live paycheck to paycheck, including those earning over $150 a year. That's not a wealth problem. That's a cash flow problem. It means they're one emergency away from chaos. Why does cash flow matter more? Because it gives you options, flexibility, control. It buys you time, lets you pivot when the market shifts, and covers your lifestyle without forcing you to sell your assets. Net worth may look great during a bull market, but it's cash flow that feeds your family in a recession. A paid-off home with no income is a trap, but a steady $3 a month, even with modest assets, buys peace of mind. That's what real wealth feels like. Constant, reliable, usable. Section 3. Why most people are rich on paper, but broke in real life. You've seen it before. The $1 million home, the leased BMW, the curated Instagram lifestyle. But under the surface, overdraft fees, credit card debt, and zero breathing room. This is the danger of net worth worship without cash flow discipline. According to Fidelity's 2023 Retirement Savings Assessment, the median American retirement account for ages 35 to 44 is just $39. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve reports that nearly half of Americans over 55 have no retirement savings at all. These people may own homes, but they're still one bad month from financial stress. Why? Because their net worth is frozen in illiquid assets, homes they can't easily sell, accounts they can't touch, businesses that don't generate income. They look rich but live paycheck to paycheck. That's not wealth, that's financial theater. Real security comes from monthly reliability, not net worth trophies. You don't retire by hitting a number. You retire by covering your lifestyle, rent, groceries, bills, without having to clock in. Net worth is static, cash flow is dynamic, and if your life runs on bills, you better have income that runs on autopilot. Section 4. Retirement isn't about a number. It's about replacing your burn rate. For decades, retirement was sold as a finish line. You hit a magic number, stop working, and let your net worth carry you through the sunset years. But that model is broken. According to the Federal Reserve, the median retirement balance for Americans aged 55 to 64 is $185. Yet the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows retirees spend over $52 per year. Do the math. That nest egg covers just 3 to 4 years, assuming no inflation, no emergencies, and no market crashes. That's the trap of relying on net worth alone. What matters isn't how much you've saved. It's how much cash flow you've built to cover your monthly burn rate. Because when income stops and expenses don't, you're bleeding your net worth dry. Now imagine this. Instead of aiming for a $1 million retirement fund, you build $4 per month in passive income through rentals, dividends, or royalties. Suddenly, retirement is no longer a number, it's a system. Your living expenses are paid before you even get out of bed. That's the difference between depleting assets and living off a machine you built. One is survival, the other is freedom. Section 5. Building cash flow is a system, not a side project. If you want freedom, you need to stop treating cash flow like a bonus and start engineering it like infrastructure. Most people work harder for active income, but forget that the real game is building systems that pay you without showing up. Step 1 is widening your margin. If you make $5 and spend $4.900, you've got nothing to invest. According to CNBC, 63% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, even among those earning 6 figures. That's lifestyle inflation in action. As income rises, so do the expenses, but wealth is built in the gap. Step 2 is converting margin into assets that produce income. Dividend-paying ETFs, rental property, digital products, royalties, small business equity. These aren't flashy, they're functional. Ramsey Solutions highlights that everyday millionaires often have multiple income streams, not just one big salary. Then comes systemization. Automate investments, hire property managers, outsource content production. The less your time is required, the more scalable your freedom becomes. Cash flow isn't just about money coming in. It's about engineering predictability. A quiet machine that works whether you're on vacation or asleep. That's not luck, that's design. Section 6. Predictability beats potential, every single time. In finance, everyone wants upside. But the truth is, upside means nothing if your income is unstable. That's why the stealth wealthy chase predictability, not just returns. They want systems they can depend on month after month, not volatile plays that keep them guessing. According to J.P. Morgan Asset Management, consistent cash flow outperforms unpredictable high-yield investments over time, especially when planning for long-term stability. Morningstar research supports this, showing that portfolios built around dividend-paying stocks and recurring income have historically delivered better financial outcomes than chasing speculative growth. Why does this matter? Because real life isn't measured in quarterly gains, it's measured in monthly bills. If your expenses are $3.500 per month and you have $4 in recurring cash flow, you're functionally free. But if your portfolio is worth $1 million and you're selling assets to pay the rent, you're just liquidating a legacy. The goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to own your time. Predictability is what lets you say yes to opportunities and no to desperation. That's not boring. That's elite strategy. And those who build for stability are the ones who quietly win, while the loud ones flame out chasing the next big thing. Conclusion: wealth on paper is not the same as freedom in practice. Net worth is a scoreboard. Cash flow is the strategy. One measures what you've built. The other determines whether you can breathe. In a world obsessed with accumulation, the smart few build systems that move, income streams that pay the bills, fund the future, and protect their time. According to Vanguard, sustainable financial independence doesn't come from asset value alone. It comes from replacing your lifestyle costs with predictable income. Because when the paychecks stop, cash flow is the only lifeline that matters. So stop chasing million-dollar snapshots. Start building monthly systems. Own assets that work harder than you do. Engineer a life that doesn't need your constant hustle to stay afloat. In the end, freedom isn't measured by how much you have. It's measured by how long you can go without needing to trade time for money. And that's a game cash flow wins every time. Please note that 86 Dawn Finance does not offer advice on taxes, legal matters, investments, or finances. The content is intended solely for educational purposes and should not be considered professional advice. For personalized guidance, please consult your own qualified advisors. Although the information has been carefully researched and reviewed, it may not represent the latest legal or financial updates. Viewers are advised to confirm the accuracy and timeliness of the information, particularly before making any major financial or legal decisions. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and stay our 86 Dawn Finance channel.